All right, let's bring in Isaac Olowolafe. He is the founder of Dreammaker Developments and chair at Black North Initiative Housing Committee in Toronto. Hi, Isaac. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Good evening. Hi, how are you doing? Great to be here.
Thank you. And let me first just get your reaction to today's announcement. We heard a little bit there about what the Ford government is planning. What do you make of this new legislation?
Yeah, I think it's a start. Obviously, the province knows there's, with the skyrocketing prices, there's a lot that needs to be done. I think this is a step in the right direction. Obviously, the delays that happen when you're going through a development process has a drastic impact on the end price. If something that should take 12 to 18 months to get approved ends up being 3 to 4 years, that means that the project is not going to be completed for maybe 6 years. And this price points are much higher, costs are much higher, and that's impacting the end users. But I think what we got to also take a look at as we're increasing the process to allow faster developments and projects to launch, we got to look at the labor as well too, to make sure that the labor is there to hit that demand once those projects are starting construction. So there's two fronts to what we're tackling, or what the province is tackling.
And also, it seems there's this focus on new builds, right? And we recognize it, particularly in Toronto, and one of the hottest housing markets in all of Canada, there isn't much space for new builds. So this is looking at, the new builds that are happening in the suburbs, but this doesn't do much to address the homes that are already on the market within the city's core.
Yeah, the only way to really tackle that is again, similar to is working with all levels of government. I think the province on its own can't solve the solution. I think working with municipalities and working with the federal government, with CMHC, and coming up with a cohesive plan that involves down payment requirements that, like within the homeownership bridge program, that's exactly what we're doing in partnership with Dream Legacy and Habitat is providing homeownership of affordability for those between 65 and 90,000 a year through second mortgages, and then providing that bridge to homes up to 700,000.
Right.
Again, that's not the only solution as well too.
Right, and so to that end, I want to talk a bit more about that, because the work that you do specifically with, Dreammaker Development and Black North Initiative's Housing Committee, you kind of look at the issue of marginalized groups, including people of color, and how they're disproportionately impacted by housing unaffordability. So when you look at today's announcement, does it do anything to tackle their unique challenges? Can you talk a little bit about what some of those challenges are and what needs to be done to address them?
Yeah, no, the access to homes is one of the challenges for underrepresented communities, racialized communities, and of course affordability and having the ability to save up that capital. So with the homeownership bridge program, we're helping to bridge that capital, and CMHC announced $10 million for 200 Black families, but we've already seen thousands apply for just 200 families. So we're looking at other alternatives like rent to own or fractional ownership, and because again, there has to be multiple solutions to tackle the problems that's on hand. Right.
We've seen home prices skyrocket during the pandemic at a time when many people have their circumstances and their financial circumstances have only worsened, and it seems to have kind of widened that gap where the rich got richer and the poor got poorer, I think, during this pandemic, and that dream of home ownership has become more and more out of reach. Are you hopeful that we can ever return to these pre-pandemic prices, which were still exorbitantly high? And what do you think is something that we can do today, tomorrow, this year, to start to address that?
So the fortunate thing is that we're in a great province and a great city in the GTA. And the fundamentals that makes Toronto and Ontario so great, and that's why there's the increased immigration that's coming into Canada and to the province. There's a job growth in the tech space, which are 6+ figure jobs. These are going to all impact housing directly and indirectly. So to say prices are going to come down, it's hard to say in a province like Ontario and in the GTA. So now you got to look at other solutions to be able to tackle those price increases. I know we've been looking at foreign taxes, increasing that, but again, I don't think that's going to fully solve the problem. you got to look at, okay, what are the barriers for homeowners right now? And the barriers is down payment. The barriers is getting access to that product. The barriers is developers that are taking 2 to 3 times longer to finish those homes. But also the barriers of labor shortage, because now there's a lack of laborers and there's a lack of trades as older generations are retired. It's filling in that gap. So now we're trying to work with the province and the government on skilled trades, increasing more visible minorities within the skilled trade space, so that it can help to finish the homes faster, and hopefully that helps with affordability.
I guess the big answer is that there is no one magic silver bullet, but it's got to be tackled from all sides. We'll leave it there. We're out of time. Isaac Olowolafe is the founder of Dreammaker Development and chair at Black North Initiative Housing Community. Thanks so much for your time tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.